A lot of us bank with or have banked with or are familiar with Central Bank Lake of the Ozarks. They're everywhere, right? Yeah, especially down here in our communities. Well, I saw a post from Dan Geyer on lake area happenings last week.
Yeah, it said the little bank that could. The Bank of Brumley has come a long way. Of course, hooking up with Sam Cooke didn't hurt a thing. Bank holding firm Central Bank Company on Friday revealed about a 6% rise in revenue in the first half of the year. Along with it, has filed for a U.S. initial public offering, moving from over-the-counter, OTC, to a full-blown place on NASDAQ, becoming the latest Missouri financial firm to seek a listing on the big market.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty big news.
So a post on Facebook doesn't mean anything in a lot of cases. So I reached out to Jim Judas with Central Bank, and he said, I can't make any further comment about this at this point. But if you go to the Central Trust website, I saw a lot of that came verbatim from that article that Central Bank Company, Inc. files registration statement for proposed initial public offering on October 10th, which is the bank holding company for Central Trust. Stock Titan reported that they filed Form S-1 on October 10th for a proposed initial offering of Class A common stock prices and applied to list on the NASDAQ Global Select Market under the symbol CBC. So like I could see them on my Robinhood app,
right,
and be investing in Central Bank stock, which is cool. The number of shares and price range are not yet determined, and the offering remains subject to the market conditions in the states of the federal government shutdown. Now, the board approved a 50-to-1 stock split, and that recorded date is set for October 20th, which was Monday, and distribution date is set for the 24th, which is Friday. Morgan Stanley, among others, are listed as joint book runners, and the offering will be made public only by prospectus when the registration becomes effective, whatever all that means.
Yeah, whatever. That's like financial gobbledygook there.
But it is legit in regards to that this is reported, and I also found this, or substantiated this with articles from Global Newswire, Business Journal KC, Yahoo Finance, Springfield Business Journal, and Stock Titan, as mentioned earlier. And so this made me think, what about Central Bank, at least at Lake of the Ozarks, right? And so they've got quite a history, and Dan Geyer alluded to the little bank that could. The Bank of Brumley has come a long way, right? So the Bank of Brumley opened in 1906 with 18 initial stockholders, with Jim Hotkins as president, E.C. Thompson as cashier, and J.C. Warren as secretary. In 1908, E.C. Thompson, who was initially the cashier, became bank president until 1941 when E.C. Thompson passed away. In the early 1960s, Lee Mace and Jim Franklin bought the bank from the original owners, and I believe that's when Sam Cooke came into play in the 1960s. Dan Geyer mentioned Sam Cooke. And in the late 1960s, the bank was sold to Central Trust Bank. Central Bank, original Bank of Brumley, was now part of the Central Bank Network, which is wholly owned by Central Bank Company. And so this company, you know, that was the little bank here at Lake of the Ozarks, is now what we know as Central Bank Lake of the Ozarks. But the actual company, Central Bank Company, headquartered in Jefferson City, is its banking subsidiary, the Central Bank Trust. It has been serving business and customers since 1902. The bank is built on a strong foundation of people, this is right from their website, community service and technology. And as of June 2025, the Central Trust Bank is a $19.1 billion Missouri State Chartered Trust Company with banking powers in a Federal Reserve State member bank with more than 156 locations in 79 communities across states Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, and Florida. And you can reach out and request initial offering details with Morgan Stanley right on that Stock Titan article. So it looks like, yeah, our little Central Bank Lake of the Ozarks, maybe not so little, and they are getting bigger as the Central Trust Bank. They're looking to go public.
Yeah, I didn't realize they had so many locations, 156 in 79 communities, and along with Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, and Florida. The Florida surprised me, because it's such a long way away. But if they do go public, which it looks like they're doing, they're probably going to grow exponentially over the next few years.
Yeah, I love the fact that I bank with Central Bank Lake of the Ozarks. They're everywhere. And I love when I go outside the area and I see that four-leaf clover in green. I know, hey, I can bank here. It's going to be easy to get in and out. But yeah, I did not realize quite how big. And so, hey, if we ever go back to Florida, no, I could go into the bank down there.
There you go. That's what I was thinking too.